September 3rd, 2015, Neil Keenan update. I get a little bit tired of running around in the hills and the woods and jungles of Indonesia with mercs chasing us all, and separated a shoulder. Come to learn that the pain in my back, it was running up through my arm, and everything was a separated shoulder, and finally getting it back together. So many different injuries took place, but it doesn't matter. What matters is we finish this. Okay, the minor injury is not going to stop us from finishing what we have to finish. There's not many like us out there. People who really want to get this thing over with at any and all expense. It doesn't matter. The idea is to win, to get it so that we, the people, are okay. That's how I feel. So now, let me make this very quick for you, because we are okay. Number one, the Pope is arriving soon to speak with the Senate and the Congress in the United States. This is an American thing right now. Not even American. It's actually, you could call it a communist thing. You could call it a man, I don't know how you call it, a religious thing, because the Pope's not as religious as he leads us to believe. But and not any Pope we had was as religious as they led us to believe. So since 1057, the church has been kidnapped, hijacked, and we've had to deal with that, with the Roman occult. Now, you know, if we want to go back in time a little bit, before the capital was Washington, D.C., there was another name to it. There had been another name. It was called Rome. As in Italy, Rome, Italy. And the river, the Potomac, was called the Tiber. And George Washington, actually, in a statue that they made for him, was called George Washington Zeus. So, you know, go back in time, you'll see that all roads did lead to Rome, even then. Okay, so right now the Pope's going to be coming before the Congress, Senate. Then he's going to be going before, on the 25th, the United Nations. At that point in time, you'll see his agenda. We've done an article or document that will be attached to this update, and you'll get to see an awful lot of what has been transpired over the years in the guise of religion. It's a document composed by the Keenan team, the Group K, and wonderful job bringing you up to date on the good things the Pope there has done, as well as other things. But it'll bring you up to date and give you some ideas, which it did for me, because I was after him at one point, then I was for him. Now I'm not either for or against. Because someone's going to have to win this battle. And the Illuminati actually works for the Jesuits. And I think I'd rather be in the hands of someone who's a little more sane than someone like the Bushes or Cheneys or any of those in our world who have taken advantage of the fact that they're part of this team, this Illuminati team that has literally nearly destroyed this world of ours. We, as a people, have sat down and watched. Many have stood up. Many have said a lot, but don't have many ways to say it and express it like let's call it the Illuminati does. They use machines, they make earthquakes, they make hurricanes, they do whatever they wish to show us that they have the upper hand. We still have the numbers. You know, it's like the song 5 to 1 by the Doors. You know, 5 to 1, 5 to 1, baby, 1 to 5. You know, no one here gets out of line. I mean, you listen to it. But we now have to be concerned about the 24th and 25th of September, when Pope Francis comes to Washington and goes before the Senate and the Congress. It's been a long time since they've done something like this, but only because they don't want to lose control of the political system or politics of the United States. But what you have to understand is there is no politics in the United States. There's not any. They have it amongst themselves, if anything. Okay, they connect the dots. They all work together. It's what they do. It's what they do. It's what they've done since what? Oh, 1871? I think that's the date, right? It's a whole different ballgame. What we think and what we thought and what it is. We are not a government. We are a corporation. The IRS is not a government. It's a corporation. The FDA is not a government. It's a corporation. It's not part of a government. Okay, all this is basically part of their game. The U.S., from what I gather, is incorporated in Puerto Rico, or was that the IRS? But or it could be Delaware. I forget. But the bottom line is that it's a corporation, and that illegally you have every standing in the world to sue a corporation. From what I gathered, when I had so many different attorneys working out of my office, the U.S. is a government, and you couldn't sue a government. So all those facets of the corporation, such as the IRS, which Michael Calhoun did a fantastic job on it. As a matter of fact, in the 20s, when Senator Manning, I believe his name was, when it was going to go against the IRS, someone had him killed. Yes, he was killed. He was assassinated. So this has been going on for a while. It's not anything new. When you're ready to expose the corporation, you get killed. Kennedy was going to expose the corporation. He's dead. He was going to close them down, period. So you got the Federal Reserve Bank, the FRB, you know, throughout the country, from one side to the other. And I'm talking about Federal Reserve Bank, U.S. side. You know, when I said talk corporations, I'm talking Europe as well. Asia is not involved in this. Asia is involved only a little bit because they've flown over and they've talked to them in the past and tried to get them to join teams. You know, join the same type of system. But Asia has not really done anything other than accede to the wishes of the corporation, seeing that they were fearful of the reprisals of for example, the United States. They're bad. They were bad. They created wars, as you know. I mean, the triangle of the West is, you know, the spiritual part of the triangle is the Vatican. The financial part of the triangle is the city of London, the London Bank, and the military arm of the triangle is the United States. That's their triangle. That's what they consider their triangle. And that's why they pretty much have controlled it. They set up their own system, and we lived within it. We did what we were told without knowing it. So you can sue all those corporations, including the U.S. corporation. Before you couldn't, because we considered them a government. They were considered not to be touched. But there again, we were conned by the Supreme Court, by the U.S. district courts, by our courts. You can go after any and all of them. And I'm talking about the FDA, I'm talking about the IRS. You can go after the Federal Reserve Banks. They're all cons. They're all part of the con. So, you know, we've got the Pope. The Pope on the 25th is going to come in and say all the things that he wants to say, but on the 24th he's going to be in Congress and Senate, and he's going to be trying to make it very clear to them that they listen to him. You've got people in the Congress and Senate you can file on right now who are serving two masters. They're not allowed to serve two masters, but they are. You can file on them right now so that they can't make a statement. They can't buckle under the Pope's strength or the Jesuit strength. You can do a lot of things right now. Legally, you can do a lot of things because of one reason and one reason alone. They're not a government, they're a corporation. Strange, huh? It's strange. That corporation has caused so many problems over so many years for so many people. Now, the one thing you need to know, and I almost forgot, that's why I hesitated there for a second, you have no debt. You don't owe one dime. How does the United States owe a dime when a corporation has been doing the borrowing in the United States. It's not a government. You can't sue a government, remember, according to our laws, but you can sue corporations. The United States is the United States Corporation, incorporated. And you can sue them. They've been borrowing. The debt is tremendous. It has nothing to do with the people. You finance them. You finance their satellites. You finance their pharmaceutical corporations. You finance their hot machines. You financed everything. We made them the giants they are because we financed them. They took our tax dollars. They sent them to the IMF in Amsterdam or in France, wherever you wish to say. My notes are in Amsterdam still. So they sent them there, and they passed it out from there. The banks in Europe survived using the taxpayers' dollars, ours. It's time for you to think about what you want to do. You got a lot of people. You got a lot of lawyers. Many lawyers. You lawyers are laughing. Maybe you laughed before. But right now, you're on that list to be killed. You're on it too. You know, at one time I thought that I was on the right track. I still am, and I'm winning. There's no question about that too. But I have to tell you these things. I'm telling you. But you have lawyers right now who no longer can laugh. You have doctors right now who no longer can laugh, and everyone else who no longer can laugh. They all better participate on your side and get things done on our side in particular. We got so many people that should be coming forth now. Because once Congress and Senate's kicked into line, then on the 25th he goes before the United Nations and he kicks them into line because they work for him. Pope Francis. And remember, Pope Francis is the better of the two deals. The other deal is the Illuminati. So you really don't have it. So you don't owe a dime. The United States people, the American people, do not own a dime. You should stop suing them for using your money illegally, fraudulently. You should start immediately doing that. See, I was along that road at one time a while back, and I wanted to go that route, but I had a pretty good beneficiary who was a nice enough person, and he stopped. He stopped because of the problems that popped up with the gene situation, which, by the way, still was not true. But it is what it is. It happened, and that took us off that course, which would have been put into place already today, and they wouldn't have been able to do what they're doing. So sometimes when people get in the way, people that were helping you at one time, people who walk side by side with you, when they get in the way, they do get in the way, really in the way. You've got to move them. In my case, I didn't move them. I fought with them. I should have just moved them. It's a shame, but that's what happened. We don't call it a government. We did call it a government, which meant you couldn't sue it at the time. You couldn't legally come after it with civil action. Well, now that you know it's a corporation, it's wide open. The door's opened. The IRS is open. The FDA is open. Even the Supreme Court's open because they're all corporations, as it turns to be. So if you want to sue them, you can. You can take the money right out of their hands. You can take them right out of what we call the corporate government. How's that? You don't owe a dime. Just keep suing them. They owe you. They've used your money to establish everything they've got. Your money, your father's money, your mother's money, your grandfather's money. They've used whatever they can get their hands on that belong to other people. Tax, tax, tax. And for who? For a corporation, which they've tied into the pharmaceutical industry, they've tied into the entertainment industry, they've tied into every little industry that's out there. Everyone. So forget the fact that we owe, they owe. And you can sue if you wish. Okay, so you don't owe a dime. No government is going to be able to come after you because most of the governments are corporations. What's a corporation going to come after you, the people? When it was our corporation, not even ours, because we didn't own the percentage in the corporation. We had no silent stock. We had nothing. Let's remember we had Bretton Woods Agreement also. It's been hijacked twice. And then right now it's not going to be hijacked because I'm in there. I'm in there. You want to know if it's going to be hijacked or not? Go do your homework in England right now because Chris Brosnahan and myself are the talk of the town. Because whether you realize it or not, and I haven't told anyone other than a few, we are going to push through a couple of humanitarian deals. Firstly, they won't be humanitarian, it'll be just to open the door, but then they'll become humanitarian. And at that point in time, let me tell you, it's over with. The financial part is over with. The whole Western world, the whole Eastern world, not going to have to worry about the middle class, set up things for the middle class so they can get back to order. All I can tell you is what I just told you is the East, the West, and England know very well what's going on. Chris did a great job over his side, and I put together the entire package my side. It's been authenticated, verified, and approved. So right now, the accounts will be opened. The ones that we talked about before, it's called the global accounts, the collateral accounts. They will be opened. Will be approved. We got boxes waiting. The mercenaries are leaving. They should be. That's the reason I got out, because I put too much pressure on them to stay when I was there. And besides, I needed the rest of my shoulder. And now this other thing has popped up, which we've been working on. I have with Chris, and it's going to be great for everybody when it happens. And the accounts will be opened, and we will go forward from there. Right now, I told you all along, get your show cleaned up, okay? Because when it comes time, you're going to make it very tough for me to do things if you're still in the same position. I can't use the funds for fighting. That's been made very clear. Or gambling or anything else. The global accounts, well, let's just say that they're verified, they're authenticated, already been approved. Okay, they're in. We should be doing it right now, finishing, but Chris Brosnahan, who's brilliant, they've called over to Istanbul, and then from Istanbul, he might have to go to Beirut, and then back to finish that up. And we've got boxes now coming in because the Mercs are moving out, and we should be in pretty good shape in the very, very near future. I don't say very nice, I mean near. January is when I said the account should be open. It might be earlier. But you got to clean your mess up. I've told you that 1,000 times. I'm telling you it again. Funds can't be used for war. Funds can't be used for gambling. The funds can't be used for numerous things. That's why they're called collateral accounts. They're only humanitarian purposes. And you can't use them then even if there's war in the territory. So I'm doing my best for you. I hope you're well. Read the attachment to this, because it'll bring you up to date on the Pope, the Jesuit Pope, and so on, and what he's done, what he hasn't done. And I haven't read it. I haven't had a chance to read it. So I leave you now with what we've got. One, the Jesuit Pope is going in to whip the Congress and Senate into line because they work for him. Then he's going to whip the UN into line because they work for him. After that, we're talking about the government, and we have no debt. We don't owe anything. I told you I would tell you when the time came. It's so easy to do, okay? And I told you that too. That we have no debt. And third would be the assets are now in the hands of the bank. 1.7 trillion are in, some in Europe, some in Asia, other places as well. And maybe I'm misleading whoever's listening to this and trying to find it. So it might be another place, because I don't want anyone to know where it is. It's not their damn business. Anyway, wishing you the best. I think we touched the base we had to. There's going to be an article for you to read beneath this, which you're going to enjoy. You're going to say, hard to believe, but it is what it is. And we try not to pull the punches. We've been hijacked a couple of times financially, and now we're going to be hijacked through the religion aspect of it all for a second time. 1057 was the first with the Roman occult. Talking to you later, and geez, you know, I'm an Irishman. I always believed in paganism a little bit. I didn't always believe there were different gods for different things. I thought it was too much work for any one man. But then again, he's not a man. He was something special. Now you find out that Apostle Paul might have wrote almost the whole damn book. I'd say damn loosely, because just in case, I protect my backside. Wishing you well, hoping all goes better. And this is it. This is a big month for us all. Let's hope that we get things in place. Okay? Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.